my side, it's very fun. A lot of children's songs and coming together songs. On the other side, it's a little more disturbing, as you can imagine. What can I say? We are living in a pluralistic country with a variety of opinions, and there is also a place for such opinions. I don't agree with the way they are shown, but of course the right to express yourself is available to every citizen in the country. I must say I'm a little, I don't know how to call it, maybe depressed about the situation currently. I don't know where we're going, where Israel state is going. I would like to think it's going in the right direction, but it's very difficult to see it. Maybe because the radicals are usually more loudly than the normative population. I hope I'm not deluding myself while believing that there is a majority of non-radicals who are just quiet because it comes together being a radical and shouting. And when it comes to the bottom line, and the opinion makers and the decision makers would make the right decisions following the majority in the population and not the radical extremists.
Hi, my name is David Aviball. I work for Jewlicious.com. Visit us often.
So what do you think about tonight's protest?
It's embarrassing, frankly. It's embarrassing. I'm only heartened by the fact that it seems to be mostly high school kids, and also heartened by the fact that since it's less than 50 people, they don't need a permit. So I guess that's kind of like a nice thing about Israeli democracy, but yeah. Very embarrassing, very ashamed.
Do you think it represents a majority of Israeli society?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, not an insignificant part of Israeli society, but certainly not a majority. I don't think the majority of Israelis are racist to such an extent. But there's the organizer, by the way. But yeah, so he's a ROI 120, an ROI community alumni. You can visit them too at roicommunity.org. But yeah, I don't think it represents a majority. So certainly there's a chauvinistic strain in Israel, but you'll find that in Israel there aren't like big military parades or big, extravagant displays of ultra-nationalism or anything like that. I mean, you'll find more flags on a square block in Texas than you will in, and big ones too. But, Arabs walk up and down the street here unmolested, sitting in the same cafes that I do. And that's why I think it's not a pervasive strain in Israeli society.
Well, I mean, that might be good in Israel, but what happens in the West Bank, where Arabs are denied, let's say, more rights? Would that reflect Israeli thought and society?
Well, West Bank's complicated, and I'm not gonna try and get into a whole political, legal discussion about the status of the West Bank and what rights Arabs are denied, but it is unequivocally a contested area, and if Israel were to unilaterally grant Arabs in the West Bank citizenship, it would actually be against international law. So it's problematic, and I think a large chunk of Israeli society would like to see a resolution to that issue. And you've seen, Israelis continuously go and try to negotiate a permanent status for the West Bank that would retain Israel's democratic character and personality. And I think most of us recognize the fact that the status quo is not ideal, and we'd like it to end and change and whatnot, and so it's not an issue.
Do you think there is hope for peace?
Yeah, I certainly hope so. I want it. I know it's good for Israel, and I definitely am certain that it's good for everyone in the region to live in peace and not in this constant state of, high degrees of conflict or low degrees of conflict. It makes everybody crazy. So, yeah, I think there's hope. Certainly when I talk to Palestinians one-on-one and we get beyond the politics and whatnot, there isn't any difference between what they want and I want. They want a better life for their kids. They want a better life for themselves. And that can only happen if there's peace. So, fingers crossed.